Hi everybody, this is Nadine Dupree for the NC Demos here in the Craft Lounge. Thank you for joining me. It's great to be part of our wonderful event today. So I have really two projects for you, all using Trimming the Town. We will be doing a double opening flap card. So that is a fun project. And I have to say, this is not my original idea by any stretch of the imagination. This is a case from Stamp Happy NZ, and she does great work. So I wanted to bring this to you today because I thought it was super fun. So let's get started. If you want to craft along with me, I will be giving you measurements along the way, and I'll be sure to put these into the comments. But first, you want to have your paper trimmer. Okay, and I know we all have that because we are avid crafters, right? So you want to open up your paper trimmer, and you want to have a piece of 12 by 12 Whisper White thick cardstock. And we're going to go ahead and cut that at 10 and just slice it up. And then we're going to cut it at 5.5. Okay, so some of my other papers I have pre-cut, but I want to do this with you. And then we are going to set this piece aside that we just cut, this second cut, because we will be using it in our project. So put that in a safe place. And don't be like me. Sometimes I put things in a safe place and I forget where my safe place is, but I know that you won't do that. We're going to score at 1.5. And then we're going to score at 5 3/4. Okay. And I didn't even show you what we're going to make today. So here's our project that we'll be making today. It is this super fun double opening flap card. It has our ribbon on here with the gold foil. And you have this piece. It's a fun full card. So actually you have it, it'll flip open. And then it looks like this, and then it'll flip open again. And I did modify mine a little bit differently from what I saw on Stamp Happy NZ's site. And then on the back, there's some DSP. So I did modify mine slightly, but it's pretty much 99.9% case from her. Also, one thing I did do differently is I did put in the Early Espresso matte behind my cardstock here, and the colors that I'm using today are Early Espresso and Coastal Cabana. So those are the colors in the DSP, and then when you open it up, you have this loveliness. So super fun. This is an extra thick card. So if you do mail it, it'd be better to mail it in a package or put plenty of postage on it because it's pretty thick. Okay, so without further ado, let's continue on. We're going to take this second piece that we have that we cut off of our card, and we are going to cut it at 7 inches. So you just want to go ahead and slice it at 7, and we're going to set that aside, and then we're going to take it and score it at 3.5. So perfectly in half. That will be our little flap. Okay, and then we have our base. Now what you want to do is you want to take your card and fold it where you scored it. And make sure maybe you have your bone folder handy. That way you can get a crispy crease, as I like to say. You're going to crease it, and then the smaller fold goes on your right hand side. You want to just crease it again. And this part that you did at 3.5, oh, I got something on my paper, but luckily we'll be covering it. You will score it at 3.5 as well. Okay, so you can set your bone folder aside, and this is the foundation to our card. What you're going to do is just take your when we get to it, you will take the fold and adhere it right on the edge. Okay? And then this flap will open, card will close, and you'll put it over there. If you wanted to, you could take a small sliver off of the side of here. I did not do that, so I hope my card fits into our envelope. But you could take maybe an eighth off of here, and then it'll work. Okay? So I have my pieces pre-cut just to save us time. You know, in TV magic. So I apologize. I had some technical difficulties earlier today, so my technology wasn't what I wanted it to be. They didn't want me to be great today, but we are going to persevere. So I'm glad that we are here today together. And here's what we're going to be using. I used Early Espresso ink. This is different than what our example was. She actually embossed in white powder. We are going to be using the Wrapped in Christmas set because the Trimming the Town set does not really have a sentiment. So we are going to be using Surround Yourself in the Love of the Season and Friends and Family Are the Truest Gifts of Christmas. This is a great Christmas sentiment set because it has some Christian sentiments and just some overall nice sentiments. I love this Noel. I have used it several times with the stitching, and I think it's great. Okay, next we'll be using the Home Together dies, which is part of this set. And here's the set itself. So they have these great houses you can color. And then also I wanted to point out with the dies, something that's really neat. With the DSP, you can cut out images with the dies. So you will see that I did that with the trees. When we get to it, I'll talk more about it. And then I did use the labels from the Tasteful Touches stamp set. So here's the labels, and this is the one I used, this one right here. So we use that. Okay, so you want to get together your products. I'll put everything in the comments, and that way we can have it and we can craft together. So next what I want to do is I took my panel of Coastal Cabana and I cut it at 4 by 5 3/8. You will need 4 panels at 4 and 5 3/8 of Coastal Cabana. And then what I'm going to do is mount my panels, okay? So we're going to take our first panel, and I'm using an ATG gun, but I know certain people have the stamp seal. And you want to just mount this onto your card frame, okay? This is a standard A2 size card. And then what we want to do is take the pattern paper with the houses and mount it on the inside cover as well. It goes much quicker when your paper is pre-cut. Don't you just love TV magic? I know I do. Truly I do. Okay. And then we're going to take our third panel, and we have a layer of white and the layers of the DSP. Those layers are then cut at, let me see, 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. Okay, and then you'll see that I used the framelit for this cute little heart design. I think that's adorable. Okay, and then our back panel, we're going to hold off adhering that until we get ready for our ribbon. Okay, and then next what we want to do on this flap right here, we want to cut Coastal Cabana at 1 3/8 by 5 3/8. And then we're going to cut our Trimming the Town DSP at 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so here's my panel. And these red dots, this pattern right here, I don't know why, but it reminds me of Minnie Mouse, Minnie and Mickey Mouse from Disney, which I love. So, couldn't go to Florida this year, you know, because of COVID. But love Disney. Absolutely. And I love this DSP. And you know what? This DSP really doesn't have to be just about Christmas. I know that there's some Christmas wreaths right here. But I have a friend that's a realtor, and she fell in love with this paper and made cards for her customers that just closed on the house. These make great gifts, so just think outside the box. It just doesn't have to be Christmas. And these are, depending on what cardstock you pair it with, you can make it more neutral than Christmas. So these are really gorgeous colors. Okay, so I mounted my panels to each side of the flap. So we have that. And we're going to go ahead while we're using our tape, and we are going to decorate our panel. So the embellishments that I choose to use is the Coastal Cabana. And again, for our flap, we are going to cut the Coastal Cabana at 2 5/8 by 3 3/8. And you need 4 of those. So 2 5/8 and 3 3/8. We'll need 4 of those. And TV Magic, I already have this sentiment stamped in here. So we're just going to place it down. Here we go. Oops, a little crooked. It's only crooked because, you know, we're filming. No, it'll probably be crooked anyway. And then what we want to do is put our layer of DSP down just to pick up the sentiments, the color of the paper. Now, if you wanted to, this could be a white layer also if you wanted to stamp your sentiment and write more of a greeting. It's really up to whatever your heart desires. So this card could work great with any of the Stampin' Up paper because all of the paper is so gorgeous and color coordinating. So I thought this was super fun. I had another project with you to show you using this, but it met with a fatality today. Paper and water does not get along, but just roll with the punches and clean up the water. Yep. So we have this, and I'm glad. Okay, I usually don't straight case something when I do, but in this occasion I did. I did put a piece of the cardstock on the back. In the example from the video that I watched, there was not cardstock here, but it's gonna overlap a bit, so I went ahead and put it on. It's a personal choice. Okay, so then what you want to do, you just want to put adhesive close to the fold and make sure you're using a sturdy adhesive. Okay, so you might want to use glue or something that you know will stand the test of time because this flap will get open. You just want to align it to the edge of your fold right there. And then this bottom layer will go down, not adhere, and the card will close. And that's why I said you might want to trim off maybe an eighth of this or even a 16th, but nothing any major. I didn't, and it's fine. So this is what our card's shaping up to be, friends. So we have that. Now what we want to do, oops, you know what? I made a mistake. Pretend you didn't see this happen. If you already heard your layer down, then you can feel free to yell at me because we had to put our ribbon. Okay. So here's the ribbon. Again, it came in the pack, combo pack. There's a complimentary real red ribbon with a gold trim on it as well. So what you want to do is take your ribbon and extend it past the side of your card. There you have it. That way you want to extend it equally out to the side of your card and just snip it. And then what we'll do is make sure it's not twisted. Because this ribbon likes to twist a little bit, but try to get it flat if possible. And then go ahead and this layer that we were set aside earlier with our Coastal Cabana that was cut at 4 and 5 3/8, and then with a layer of the DSP at 3 7/8 by 5 1/4, we're going to lay it down like this. Okay, so we're just going to run some adhesive on it. And I don't know why, but I always tend to use my tape runner in the shape of an N. And it's not because my name is Nadine, it's just coincidence. But I noticed that today. I'm like, huh, maybe it could be like a Z for Zorro. You remember that old sword fighter cowboy guy? When I watched that when I was little, but I'm telling my age now, so we will move on. Alright, so we have the back down, so that secures our ribbon pretty well. And then we want to just put this layer down and pretend like it wasn't down before. You know, and with this layer, why don't we go ahead and use some dimensionals if you have them available, because that will help just pop it up. If not, go ahead and use your tape runners. Really up to whatever your heart desires. I am going to go ahead and use my tape runner again. The ribbon's not that thick, so the tape runner should be just fine for us to use. So we're going to put this down just like so. I'm still seeing Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. Alright, so that is beautiful. And then, using this Tasteful Touches, this die from the Tasteful Touches bundle, go ahead and die cut your die and cut off just the edge of it, because it was a little too long. But if you cut off just a small portion of it, and then you're going to align it to the edge of your card. And then what I did was I die cut some trees out of the DSP. So that's great that the dies match up to the trees for this big, larger tree. And for the smaller tree, I just went ahead and fussy cut it. And then what I did was stamp the sentiment from the Wrapped in Christmas. And then I used the circle punch and punched it out. Okay, and that's how the Coastal Cabana as well. So we're going to go ahead and adhere our little sentiment tag. I think this card's so fun. So fun. Now, when your adhesive doesn't work, that's not fun. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put that down. Line it up to the edge. I did use, again, the Early Espresso ink. Now, our sample card from the inspiration video, she did use white embossing powder, and go ahead and heat emboss that. But I kind of liked this because my sample card for you had the Early Espresso as a double matte as the base, so I picked up that color. Okay, I did not use the Early Espresso on this card just to show you the difference, but either way is fine, because there is Early Espresso in the paper. And then when you open up the card, we already did the sentiment there. And then I think I lost my little heart. I did. It's so tiny. So what I did for my sample card is I incorporated the heart from the die cut onto my sentiment panel. And I had one for us today and it ran away. So, leaving me brokenhearted because I don't have one. But you see it in the sample. So, we're rolling with the punches. So, we have our card. And last but not least, you know, we need some bling. Life is not complete if you don't have bling. So, I have some rhinestones here because they are a staple in my craft room. And I'm sure they're probably a staple in yours as well. We're going to go ahead using our take our pick tool and pick up the rhinestones. And you can just randomly place them where you like. I'm going to put 3 on. 3 always seems to be my magic number when I'm working with rhinestones. Do you have a magic number? If so, let me know what it is. Okay, so I'm just going to put this last one down. And I'm happy to report, my friends, that we have a card. You're going to go ahead and tie your bow. And this card, again, is really thick. So if you put it in the mail, just know that you're going to need extra postage. You're going to have to hand cancel it. I don't know how much it weighs, but it's more than the average. Not your average Joe card by any stretch. This card is really fun, gorgeous, and thick. So you keep your card closed like that. This is what the back looks like. Had the old olive striped back, Coastal Cabana, Whisper White, thick, Trimming the Town DSP. Just giving you time to take it all in. And then when you open it up, it flaps open and it comes open again. So nice place for your sentiment and everything. I think this card is really cute. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to tie my card back up. So the focus of my presentation today, I wanted to be about gift giving. And although I chose a Christmas themed project, you could use this card technique for any type of card. It'll be super great with a birthday card. Now what I'm going to do is show you how to make a quick gift bag, because if you are like me, then you always forget your gift bags and you're running out to the store on your way to the party. So I'm using 2 pieces of 12 by 12 paper for my gift bag. Again, this is from Trimming the Town, so you will see the color coordination with our card. Matching pieces of paper. They don't have to be, but if you like them to be, that's fine. And this is going to be so quick and easy. I'm going to use your trimmer, but this time we're going to use the score portion of the trimmer. So we're going to go ahead and score it at 3 inches on 3 sides. So 3 inches on 3 sides. And for those of you that watch Rhonda Wade, she did inspire this project. Rhonda is great, and I recently had the honor of attending her convention in person before COVID locked us down again. So I'm thankful to have gotten out to play with my friends. Now I'm back in the house, but it's good. As long as we're all safe and healthy, we are blessed beyond measure, truly, and I'm thankful. Okay, so score it 3 inches on 3 sides and 1 inch at the top, okay? And you're going to do the same kind of thing to your second piece of paper. You're going to do 1 inch at the top. And if your paper is directional, then make sure that your 1 inch is at the top, which I think I did without even paying attention, because I was just being a chatty Cathy and not even paying attention. And then I would have been mad at myself shortly later, but I think it worked out in my favor. So God is good all the time. God is good. All right, so we're going to score 1 inch at the top. And what did we say on the side? I can't remember. Was it 3 inches? Yep, you're right. It was 3 inches. Thanks for helping me out. And what did we say about the bottom? Oh, yeah, 3 inches. So we're going to, oops, not score it there. I am much more efficient when I'm not on video. How about that? I know everybody else is like flawless, and then here I am on the struggle bus. But you know what? What you see is what you get. So we're going to make this gorgeous bag in lickety split time. Okay, so we're done scoring. Now what we want to do is at the very bottom of your paper where you scored the 3 inches, you want to cut up to that cross mark. So you're just going to go up to where that other score line is and stop. And you're going to do that on the bottom of each of your bags. You're going to cut to that score line. Okay? That way we can make our bag. And the trimmer's being contrary, but we worked it out. And I can tell you what, I know I'm biased because I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator, absolutely. But this trimmer is the best trimmer that I've had in 10 plus years of crafting. I really love the versatility of it with the scoring options. And so I'm thankful that for the great tools that Stampin' Up provides to me, because I am my own best customer. Yes, indeed I am. And I have great customers and I love them and we have fun in the craft lounge, but let me tell you that I have stuff that if I didn't go to work or sleep or do anything else for the next couple of months, then I would still be playing with new stuff. How about that? I think I have a habit that doesn't need cured because I'm having fun. So okay, you want to take and fold on your score lines and go ahead and make those crispy creases with your bone folder because you want this box to be sharp and crisp. So let's just do that. I know y'all have probably made this box before and this is nothing new to you. So I'm going to try to go a little quick. Talk less, work more, you know, if that's possible. Talk less. Okay, I'm just making my creases crispy. There we go. All right, so next what we want to do is take that 1-inch score mark and fold it down, make it crispy, and then you want to do it on the other piece as well. 1 inch. You're going to make it crispy. And then what you're going to do, take your adhesive with that 1 inch on the underside. Just run your adhesive around. Well, and my adhesive decided to run out. That's just great. So, what we're going to do, of course it only runs out because it's on camera. So we're going to switch to the Tombow glue just because that's what I have on hand. So I got a little bit too much glue on the end. I didn't remember to start in the middle. But this folded down edge just gives us a little bit of charm to our bag, a little flair. So start in the middle, Nadine, start in the middle. Okay, so I'm going to hear our 1 inch piece down. And then I haven't made this box with glue, to be honest. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. If not, I have some boxes right here to show you some bags that I already have made. So you want to go ahead and you want to put glue on the flap. And then you want to make sure your flap aligns to the edge. And then go ahead and put glue on your second flap. And do the same thing. Okay. So there we have the beginnings of our bag. And then the inside, or outside, however you want to look at it, you want to do the same thing for your bag. You want glue on the flap. I'm trying to hurry, y'all. I'm trying. And then you want glue on the flat. And fold that in like so. Okay. I had to give it a little coaxing. And then You're going to do the same for this side. You want to align it. Give it a squeeze if it's not exactly lining up. You want to try to get it as tight as you can. See how this is coming together? So I like to kind of put my bag size together and just see what's what before I start adhering anything. But that looks pretty good. So I'm going to take this back out and I'm going to put adhesive on the sides. Oops. And on this side. If you want to use tearing tape, then that's fine as well. If you want to use the Stampin' Seal. This is my first time using the Tombow with a bag, just because my tape runner ran out. But you're getting the gist of it. So with the tape runner, it would automatically adhere. With the glue, there's some drying time involved in it. But the glue does give you time to kind of finagle it around. So, and then, okay, so you can see there's a little bag. You might have to hold the sides together. I've been known to put a glue dot where some of the edges might pop up just to hold it down. Okay, so one thing that you want to do, use your tape gun and put a cello envelope on the front. You can cut off the flap and then slide the card we made into the cello envelope. I cut off the top of the cello bag and I'm going to put it down on my bag. And I have some mini glue dots, upside down, mini glue dots on hand. I have a few of those remaining. So we're going to try it this way. I'm using my take your pick tool, and putting the glue dots onto the cello bag. And I'm just going to try to use 4 for right now, just because I'm rushing. But tape runner would work much better. To use. And oops, that glue dot went flying. Does anybody else have flying glue dots in their life? That'll be interesting. Okay, now you're going to adhere that to your bag. There we go. And my fingers are sticky because of the glue. Okay, so now your card, if it wasn't super thick, will go into your cello bag. So this card's super thick, so it's going to be careful when you try to slide it in. Okay, my bow's getting a little hung up. We're just going to finagle it in there. Okay, so you can see that the card is now attached to the gift bag. So how this is super fun and cute is because now your gift has a gift. You know, a handmade card is a gift, and then the gift bag. And you can put cute things in here like chocolates or Bath and Body Works products, or if you did some baking and put some of your cookies in here. Whatever you choose to put into this package, people will love it. I was going to share with you that my sampler frame that I had, but that was part of the water disaster from earlier, so we won't talk about that because my feelings got hurt. So at Joann Fabric, they have this cute little tote bag, and I thought it matched our Trimming the Town paper very well. So I'm planning on using this for my sampler gift and my cookies and my gift that's going to a friend. So that is it for my presentation today, the gift bag and this double flap card. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Have a good night.